Hey y'all, it's Mary Payne. Welcome to Pink Shade. It's Mugshot Monday. I finally got it right. I'm with Keisha. We're going to talk about Life After Lockup, Season 5, Episode 14. Really Season 5, Episode 2. But it's called TikTok. TikTok. How are you, Keisha?
I'm good. This is like my favorite day of the week.
I
It's
do
the
love
only
talking to you.
reason I get up on Mondays is so we can do this. I
I
love it.
love talking about this show. And so many people this week were sending me like DMs of like screenshots of conversations with their friends about like, oh, can't wait to hear Mary Payne and Keisha talk about this. I was like, why? What was so great about this episode? I've already forgotten.
Well, it was a more like the last episode was a little bit slow. This one had a little bit of speed to it.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that's
Maybe
what it
so.
was.
Maybe
Yeah.
so. Um, okay. So if you don't have any news to report from the Texas area, we can jump right into it.
It's cold today.
Oh, that's good. I'm happy for you. That's
Yes, it's
good.
cold. It's where the AC is not on today. So this is huge. It's huge.
Wow,
Yeah.
because you're always just
Yeah.
dying of heat over there, dying.
Yeah, it's been like when it's 78 and it's December, that kind of
Yeah.
steals away the Christmas spirit. Even though Christmas is my least favorite time of the year, but it really sucks when it's in the 70s. It's just
Are you the Grinch? Why don't you like Christmas?
it is just my least favorite holiday. My favorite holiday, like if you were to compare my decor for Halloween and Easter to
Mhm.
Christmas, it's
Yeah.
laughable. It just
Okay.
really is. Like it's just I've never really been a Christmas person. I
Interesting.
just I don't like Christmas music. I don't like Christmas movies.
Uh-huh.
Like the Christmas movies I like are like Krampus, Gremlins, all the Harry Potter movies with a Christmas tree in it, Love Actually. I don't do White Christmas, Wonderful Life,
Hmm.
none of that. I like Holiday Heart, a Christmas movie about a drag queen.
Mhm.
I don't. I'm very happy when Christmas is over.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys, you heard it here first. Keisha is the Grinch. She is the
And I love
Grinch.
The Grinch, and I love The Grinch as well. It's one of my favorite movies, the Jim Carrey one. Yes,
Yeah.
I don't know. And everyone else around here loves Christmas, not me. They just
Huh.
don't.
Well, there's always got
Mm-mm.
to be somebody, so it's you.
Of course it's me. Of course it's me.
I love Christmas, but because we're going out of town, I haven't decorated one thing. Now, as I've just bought things that I saw at Home Goods, or I went to this little ladies' luncheon thing, and I bought a couple of these trees. I just like put those up, but they're not up anywhere. They're just like on the counter. My husband's
Right.
like, "This is it. This is the decoration." I go, "Yeah, that's it." I've
do,
asked,
do,
like, we could put the tree up because we have a fake tree that's pre-lit. I go, we could put that tree up. I'm glad.
mm,
I can't do it alone because I'm not strong enough. Someone's got to help me. We can put it up.
no one ever helps me put up the Christmas tree. We've got like a 12-footer.
Oh
So
gosh.
me and my, sometimes I'm crippled. You know what
Right.
I mean? I'm going up and down this fucking ladder. I'm like, these motherfuckers, I don't even like this shit. And I'm the only one putting up this shit. And it makes you just want to kick over the tree when I'm done. It really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just said, I was like, because we're having, our dog sitter is going to be staying at our house while we're gone. I was like, I feel bad. She's not going to have any Christmas spirit when she comes over here, you know?
Oh, well, I'm sure she's happy about the dog sitting money. She'll get over it.
Uh-huh. I'm sure she is. Yeah, she should be. Well, let's go ahead and talk about this show then. Life After Lockup, Season 5, Episode 14, which is really Episode 2, but
Hmm.
they're just rolling it from Love After Lockup, keeping it Season 5. But at least we kind of understand now why they're labeling it as it is. And this one's called TikTok, and that is Bobo's warning. TikTok, your time is almost up. Chance. It's going to be
Yes.
death to Chance.
I
Death
want
to
to see
Chance.
it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I really do.
I know that you take everything at face value,
I
and
do.
I do a lot on 90 Day. I do a lot of taking it at face value, but on this show, I can see the fakeness so much, and it just drives me insane.
I'm just not going to let you ruin these moments for me because I
Okay.
want to believe that Bobo's going to do a drive by
Mhm.
on Chance and
Uh-huh.
like jump out the car, beat him up, sick his
Mhm.
dog on him, all sorts of things. That's what I
Yeah.
want to see. And I believe in my, you know, little dumb heart that
Mhm.
that's what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, it's all fake, but we're still covering it because we still love it.
Some of it's
Oh.
real.
All right. As we go along, you tell me what you think might be real. So I will tell you this.
Okay.
We're going to start with Britney and Kerok. This was real. They did jump out of a plane.
Yeah. I have a question about that though.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I've seen other skydiving videos or
Uh-huh. Yeah.
why didn't they have on like a helmet or something like that? That concerned me.
Well, they both had on the like, big glasses on their face, like
That's
plastic, like huge
yeah.
glasses, like Angie K from Salt Lake City, like huge glasses that cover the whole
Yeah.
face. Yeah. Helmet.
Don't
I
they
didn't
usually
notice.
have on one? But they
Did
didn't
neither
have on one.
they didn't? I didn't notice.
Mm-mm. And that plane was just a little bit too little for me.
It was real tiny. It was like a crop duster for real. Yeah.
Yes, so I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe
Mm-mm.
watching these moments at all. But
Nope. I agree. So they jump out of a plane, and then mom and whose name I've already forgotten. Mom and the brothers Desmond and TJ. What's the mom's name? Can you remember?
is
Tammy.
it Tammy? Yeah,
Tammy.
Tammy.
Sometimes we just
Yeah.
have to talk it through. So
Yes.
Tammy and Desmond and TJ are standing there with signs that say, "Will you marry me?" Now, when I watched this the first time, I was like, "Did they spell me M-I?" Because the way that the light was hitting the sign, like you couldn't see it, I was like, surely they know that me is M-E. But then when the second time I watched, because I was ready to make fun of that they couldn't spell,
Yeah.
but I was wrong. I was wrong. It says,
Well,
"Will you marry me?"
I would think if the two brothers were, in charge of writing the cards out, they may have spelled it M-I.
Yeah,
They're the
I
goof
know.
goof troops right there.
That's right. So they land and she's bawling, crying. She's bawling, crying before she even realizes she's just so happy to be alive and
Right.
then it's over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I would
She
be
was
too.
convinced it was her last day.
Yeah, yeah. So then he proposes. So she sees the sign. He proposes. So funny. Mom's like, "Come over here," and she's like, "Okay, just a minute."
Yeah.
Um, and then it was cute at the end when she says, "I just feel bad. Like nobody in my family was here. I wish I could have talked to my grandmother." And he says, "I called her. I called your abuela for the blessing." And then she really cries. It's really sweet.
Yeah.
And then they call the
He did good.
abuela. Yeah, I think
He
for all this, he did a good. Other than them forcing her to jump out of an airplane part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's where I'm like, that's typical Key Rock to do some shit like that. But he did a good setup, and calling her grandmother and having her involved was really nice. And he was very proud of himself. You could tell he was cheesing
yeah,
it up. Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's it. That's all we get for them this week. It's just I think of so much trauma with them. We couldn't see anything further. They got to just bask in
Well,
this moment.
well, one thing we did see was Tammy's big old booty. I'm like, did Tammy go and get a BBL? Like that thing was a badonkadonk.
I
It's
did not
huge.
notice Tammy's booty.
I was like, get him, Tammy.
She's always in the house in a house coat. I didn't. Did she?
She had on pants this time. I was like, God
Oh,
damn, you were hiding all of that underneath that moo that you normally wear. I was like, I see you, Tammy. I see you. That's how the
good for
plan knew where to land.
yeah.
Tammy's booty.
Good for you, Tammy. Good for you. Us girls with flat asses are always happy when somebody's
I
got a little
know.
something in the back.
Hmm.
So, all right, now let's go to the fakest story of all, which is Melissa and Louie. This is the fakest. This is the top of the fake. All of this is fake. Every bit's fake.
Oh boy, some
I
of
had
it's
some.
real.
Somebody wrote me and said that they agreed with me that it's an Airbnb. I mean, you could tell just because of the way it is on the inside,
Mm.
but also because they said they think they know where she lives and it's like an apartment, like a condo. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
she didn't even live in
Which
this little house. Yeah.
I don't get it.
So she pretends to rearrange the couch cushions and stuff as he's
Yes,
talking to her.
she
And
did.
the whole Airbnb is a theme of like sailing
Yes.
and the ocean.
And that just doesn't seem like Melissa's style at all.
No, she's way more
Mm-mm.
goth. Uh-uh.
Yes, she is. Yeah.
So she's pretended to sort of rearrange the couch cushions. She's like in her PJs with her full face of makeup. And she's like, "Oh, are we gonna, still fighting or whatever?" And then he makes her scrambled eggs with ketchup.
No, she put
That
the ketchup on it and ruined the whole damn meal.
that is
But
gross.
but a lot of people do it. Like,
They
okay,
do?
so
Ew.
yeah. So I don't do that. But however, if I do have one of those McDonald's big breakfasts where you get like
Yeah.
the eggs, the sausage, the hash brown, and
Uh-huh.
I happen to have the hash brown on the plate, I have to put ketchup on there. So I don't mind if I get a little bit of the hash brown with the ketchup and a little bit of the eggs. But I
Okay.
refuse to ever just put ketchup on eggs. We're going to get canceled because we said that, because I'm sure every one of your listeners puts ketchup on their
No.
eggs.
I've never seen a person do that in my whole life.
Are you serious?
Ever.
Oh,
Never.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I've seen that
Okay.
a lot of times, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that's
I get
special.
it for a hash brown. I mean, my God. But this was just I found it
Yeah.
insulting. Insulting to eggs. I did.
Maybe it's a Texas thing because I see people do that
Maybe.
all the time. Not me. I'll put salsa on there, but not ketchup on
Salsa?
eggs.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Salsa,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Okay. Because sometimes we chop up just like bell peppers and onions and then do that with the eggs. It's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, they're going to a barbecue that day with her family, and she was like, I didn't even tell them. Like, they don't even know you're here. Like, they don't even know you're coming. And I say, LOL. Of course they did, because they're filming. Yeah. So as they walk up, we hear Ronald saying, "Yeah, if there's garbage out there, my daughter will find him." I'm
How
like,
fucking
that's
rude to say that. And this is the same daughter who talked about having sex in a motel room on her period.
Oh
Really?
God. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're
Mm-hmm.
right. But you got to think about poor Ronald. They had the other daughter, the sister had told about that story about she had her spouse,
Right.
boyfriend, whatever, died of a drug overdose. And
Mm-hmm.
so Ronald's probably had it up to here. And now we're at Allie's house with her husband, Mike, and
Yeah.
Allie has taken on the Rastafarian look for some reason. And she
Yeah.
has a nice house. She's got a nice house.
I have to say I was really surprised to see her with that really cute baby with a big southern bow in her hair. I
Yeah.
just like expected maybe her baby would have on a Bob Marley t-shirt or something like that, not this big red bow looking
Yes.
super cute. But
Uh,
it was a shocker. I'll say that.
I agree with that. And so they had this huge playground, this covered portable hot tub, a barbecue set up, outdoor furniture, and then so Allie and Mike are there, and Ronald is there, and Ronald is sitting there with a baseball bat. Like, if you don't think this was set up, Keisha, now come on now.
Wait, okay. So initially, I assumed that baseball bat was a plastic one, like from the kids' playground. But so was
Uh
it a
huh.
real one?
Yeah, it was wood. Yeah.
Ugh,
Hmm.
Ronald. He wants to be such a gangster, and he's
He
not.
was just really wishing he missed his chance to be on The Sopranos,
Yes, exactly.
Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yeah.
So Allie makes a crack about like, "Oh, you're here. Like, who paid for you to come here?"
What?
And he's
Maybe
again,
Donna paid for him to come there. Like, why does it matter? He's fucking there.
well, he was like, "I paid for my own trip,"
Yeah.
and she makes a joke about, "Oh, I figured maybe Melissa Venmo'd you," and he was like, "She doesn't Venmo me anymore."
Right.
And then she has to bring up again, of course. Well, I spent $5,000 on your teeth. Like, she
Well,
has to
you
bring it up
chose to
again.
do that. Like,
I agree. She needs to stop bringing it up.
she does. I mean, I hate it when someone does something for you and they keep bringing it up and they keep bringing it up in front of other people. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
bitch, here,
agree.
you know what? Let me take these dentures out off. Maybe you can sell them on eBay and get your money back or get some of your
Yeah,
money back. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm tired of her doing that.
We have that a little bit going on 90 Day as well with Nikki and Justin. She keeps bringing up, "Well, I sent you money. Well, I sent you money." Like, well, quit. That was your choice. Quit bringing it
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one put a gun to your head or anything like that or forced you to do it. You did it on your own.
So the other sister, Sherry, arrives. First thing I said, "Is that a wig?" But I think she just has very dyed black hair. It's like super
They all
dyed.
did. Well, so does Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's like
very, very dark.
really.
And I don't think that's their natural
I
hair
don't
color.
either. I
I
don't
kind of
either.
wonder what it is because they have got very, very blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I'm thinking a brown. No, well, we
probably.
saw her high school pictures, but it was in black and white. You
I
really couldn't
know.
tell.
Can't tell. Can't
Mm-mm.
tell. So, anyway, so Sherry arrives and she's like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, hey, good to see you." He said, "Yeah, I'm here. Like, I'm trying to prove that I'm strong in this relationship. I'm trying to prove myself to her." And then they start asking him about staying sober. And he
Hmm.
says, "No, I feel, very strong." And he says, that jail saved his life And he said
Right.
that before. And he says, I feel, very strong in my sobriety. Of course, anybody that is a sober person will say, like, I'm sober today.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to be sober today.
Yeah.
Now, this is also set up. Donna FaceTimes during the barbecue. Now,
Conveniently. That's
obviously,
yes, I 100% agree with you on this part that was totally set up.
yeah,
Fucking
because,
Donna. I cannot
and
say
then,
just Donna. I had to say fucking Donna.
because I mean, if it wasn't set up, he wouldn't have answered it, right? He'd
I
be like,
don't
oh,
think so
we're
either.
filming. I can't answer it,
Yeah.
right? So then we see Melissa and her dad sit down together for a talking head. And first of all, I'm very worried about dad's sunspot on his face. Very concerned. I need
I'm
him to get
concerned
that
about a lot of
biopsied.
things on her dad.
Yeah. He needs to get that biopsied. Um, so they're sitting there together and she's like, yeah, I guess I'm attracted to bad boys because like my dad, he was like an OG bad boy. And then dad just kind of says, yeah. And he goes, in the Italian way to take care of things is we take care of it ourselves. We don't call the cops. And okay. So
So, can you imagine Ronald and his baseball bat trying to swing? Have you ever seen those cartoons where someone swings the bat for baseball and they just keep turning with the bat?
yeah,
That would be Ronald with that bat. Like, come
you're
on now.
right. You're right.
Come on.
And he's walking around like it's a cane, he's like leaning
Yeah.
on it. So Ronald and Louie go over by the swing set to talk. And he
Hmm.
says, I'm a real hands off parent, and which is the opposite of your mom. Like she's too hands on. Um, And, he tells Ronald, he's like, I love Melissa. She's the woman for me. I'm fighting for this. I'm trying to prove myself. And
Hmm.
being in prison saved my life. I'm never going back to drugs. And also, when I was in prison, what I learned is all you really have is your word. So if
Yeah.
I'm giving you my word, that's all I have.
Right.
And the dad, he kind of takes that in. And he goes, but if you break Melissa's heart, you're going to get this bat to the kneecaps. It's like, wow. Wow.
Yeah, one of those kids may have to do it for him because Ronald's not going to be able to swing at anything. Okay. Yeah, I also thought it was funny that one of her sisters was like, "He works in a pizzeria. How's he going to find a job here? New
um,
Jersey? Aren't there like lots of pizza places
Pizzerias.
around
Yeah.
there? Like,
I mean, are
think
they
it would
trying
be
to say
pretty easy."
if he wants to move on to bigger and better things, that's great, but he probably
Right.
has to start at the pizzeria
He
because that's what he
does.
knows, and
Yeah.
that's fine.
Hmm.
And he obviously makes a decent amount of money, and also he gets paid for the show, you know?
That's true too. You got to
Yep.
add that money on in there.
So Melissa is talking with her sisters about Louis moving there, and,
Hmm.
they're like, if he comes, Donna's gonna come too, and,
Yeah.
she's like, "Yeah, I'm sure, I don't know, I can't imagine that she wouldn't," and they're like, Melissa's like, "Him getting out of prison is a bigger adjustment for him and for me. It's a bigger adjustment than we thought."
Hmm.
Now we see them on the ride home, and Melissa says, she's always driving, so it makes me believe
Yes.
but he has a
He does.
car.
Yeah, he has a driver's license, but maybe she just didn't want him to drive her car.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It's been a long time since he drove a car. She's like, you try it out on your car first. See how
Yeah,
you do.
let's see if you
Yeah.
fuck it up.
So Melissa says, I think that went well with my dad and my sisters. I do. And he goes, yeah, he goes, and I think I made a good impression on them by coming here to show that I'm serious. And I actually had a great conversation with your dad as well.
I think it
And
went well,
I think
that
it did. And Melissa
conversation.
says, and Melissa looks so good in her talking head, this like one shoulder thing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
her skin is like milky, you
Yes,
know?
it is.
And she says, he sat there and took it like a man. All that criticism, that really turned me on. Okay. So
Yeah, he
then
did take it like a man. I don't know if that would have turned me on, but he did because I would have fucking flipped over that table and left and said, "Fuck all of you," and said, "Donna, can you send me a ticket so I can come home tonight?" Because that was crazy.
well, that would have been Real Housewives of New Jersey
Yes, it would
style
have
if you would
been.
have flipped the
Yeah.
table.
Mhm.
So they're driving and she goes, since you love surprises, here's the surprise. Now we're led to believe
Uh-huh.
that they are going to the high school where they first had their unrequited love, or rather she did. He didn't know she existed.
Mhm.
And they sit in the bleachers and she tells him, this is where my crush with you began and you didn't even know I existed. And let's just go record scratch. We know from a bunkie that this is not their high school.
Right.
And this is a little league field
Mm-hmm.
because obviously the high school didn't want them to film there. I mean, when you were looking at it, were you thinking, what kind of high school of 60 students is this? Because it was like
It was rather
tiny.
small, yeah. But it makes it even grosser the fact that it's a little league field and they were out there trying to have sex.
It does make it grosser.
Yes,
You're
it
right.
does. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're right. So this was not the high school. This was a little league field. It was miles from where their high school was. And he tells her, we got to give this shit up. Like, no more breaks. That stupid high school stuff. I want to move here to be with you, but I want to make sure we're okay. And I'm going to make sure that my mom like steps off 100%. I know she can be the downfall of our relationship and I have it under control. And she goes, okay. And I'm going to tell my family they have to be supportive because down the road, we might want to get married. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, really? She goes, yeah. Now, did you notice when they're having this stupid fake staged little league conversation that her makeup did not look near as good as it normally does?
No, she looked really washed out.
And she looked like she had bumps all around her mouth, which led me to believe they filmed this scene like 6 times of them making out. And it like, like when you make out and you get your
Right.
makeup off. That's
Yes.
what I think.
Well, it was a noticeable difference. I was just like, what is going on? Like she looks washed out, like she needed to go freshen up her makeup or something
Yeah,
like that.
I think 'cause they've been making out for this scene and they probably had to do it 3, 4 times.
Oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
guys, get it right the first time. I ain't got time to do all this kissing and humping on this little kid's bench.
I mean,
Sorry.
this is so twisted. So she goes, I always wanted to make out the bleachers, but you were too busy with the popular girls. And then she says, I always wanted to have sex in the dugout like the cool kids.
Oh my, get over it. She needs therapy. Just a little bit
I
of therapy.
mean, he just told her we have to get over this high school bullshit. And here
Most
she's like,
definitely.
but can we just have sex in the Then they go over to a very obvious little league dugout where
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow or this evening 5 and 7-year-olds are going to be sitting around.
Hope they sanitize that bench off first for that game. I'm sure there's
Now,
some crazy mom out there that has like a bottle of sanitizer and sprays everything down before every game because
can
they
you
need it to this
imagine
time.
if you had a little kid that played Little League and you just like, oh, I'm going to watch this show because my male girl is on here. And then you're watching, they're like, now, wait a minute. That is where my kid plays Little League. That is disgusting.
I would most definitely write a letter or a very strong email to
Yes.
someone about this.
Hmm.
Yes, I have concerns.
I have concerns as well. So I just said we don't need to see them like flipping around different positions and stuff.
Mm-mm,
Like
mm-mm.
we obviously know they're not going to have sex on camera. They kept
No,
their clothes on. But again, their whole story is the fakest of all the fake and I am annoyed. Annoyed.
there's some real
Okay.
aspects in there.
Okay, sure.
I'm
All
holding
right.
on.
Let's go with Lindsey and Blaine.
Lindsey,
Hmm.
Lindsey, and Blaine.
They showed flashbacks of when he was chasing her in the car, doing the
Yeah,
Lindsey. I was laughing. I was like, that sounds just like Keisha. That is so bad.
Lindsey. I want his son to say it like that too. I'm like, he needs to teach his boy how to say it right.
God, that kid looks just like him, doesn't
Just like
he?
him. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, Lindsey's 18 months out of prison. Blaine and Lindsey are getting Miley's new room ready at the house,
Hmm.
and Blaine's son, Kaygan, is there. Now,
That's a new one.
Kaygan, what kind of name is Kaygan?
Yeah, that was a new one. I thought I'd heard them all, but Kaygan is yeah. They were doing a lot of thinking with that one.
Mm.
Kaygan.
So, Kaygan, age 8, he's there. He's super cute. And she says, we bought this new house and Mylie is moving in and Kaygan is here. What
Hmm.
happened to that house they were putting together last time?
I don't know, but I was just glad not to see the puke green carpet from
Yeah.
1968. So
Yeah.
it's a step up, most definitely.
Yeah, but you know what bugged me was they were getting Miley's room ready and they had her like her Taylor Swift poster and all that. Why didn't they paint it? Because they still had that wood paint. They could have just, if they wanted it to be really pink, she could have painted the whole thing pink or at least white or something. I didn't
I
like
didn't
that
think that you
paneling.
could paint. Yeah, I guess so. You guess you could paint that wood paneling.
Absolutely. Of
Yeah,
course you can.
I don't like wood paneling.
Well, she bought this new house and Miley's moving in and they've moved to Iuka, which
Hmm.
is a little bit closer to Oxford, Mississippi, where she is in school. And I think that where she works is in Iuka. Iuka is
Okay.
tiny.
With the name like Ayuka, I bet it
Uh-huh.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tiny. So, like I think in the drive from Brenda's over to Lindsay's, I think you saw
Mm.
all of Iuka right there.
God
That was
damn.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
So over at Gammy's, which is Brenda, Miley's packing up, and she was like, "I just worry like this might be weird. Like I've never really lived with my mom since she was
Mm-hmm.
like 5 or 6." And Gammy's like, "It's going to be tough, but I'm happy now to like just be the grandmother. She's really the great grandmother.
Uh-huh.
Really be the grandmother, and I just want to be supportive of the two of you. But yeah, it's going to be an adjustment and everything."
Mylie looked very concerned.
She did. She
Very,
did.
she looked like how Skylar looked the day they let me bring her home from the hospital. Like, are you guys sure? This is the best we got. Are you sure she's ready to take me home and care for me? Because
Oh
that
my
poor
gosh.
kid just was,
That is
I don't
funny.
know. I was like, does she really want to even do this? Or does she feel pressured like she should do this? She didn't look really happy about it.
Mm-mm. She didn't. She looked worried. But I mean, she wants to be with her mom. And poor Gammy is like, I've raised all these children. Please, somebody just give me a break.
Yeah.
Brenda's
But
tired, y'all.
she's done a good job. Like, Molly's hair's always been done. Her clothes have been
Mm-hmm.
in style. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
she's been in. So she's done a really good job.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, 13-year-olds look way different than they did back in our day.
Holy shit. I had like big bangs and a ponytail
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
clear lip gloss. That was it.
Uh-huh. I mean, and then I'd probably get in trouble for that.
Right.
So, Blaine tells us regarding Kaygan, he says, I don't have a good relationship with Kagan's mother, but she loves Kaygan, but we know there's more than one kid here, so I don't know if we're just not going to see the other one or if it's a different
Because,
mom or what.
yeah, there's an older kid.
Yeah, I think he's got at least two.
Uh huh.
Yeah. And he says he doesn't have a good relationship, but she loves him. She's
Mm-hmm.
just not been able to take care of him. So that means obviously she's probably got a drug problem as
Probably, yeah.
well.
Mm-hmm.
So Kaygan has been living with his grandmother. Now we don't know if this is
Mm.
Blaine's mother or the
Her
baby
mom.
mother's mother. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been living with his grandmother, but now I have full custody, and I got a lot of time to make up for, and I just want to be like a good dad for him.
Right.
Having custody, he says, is a dream come true. Like he never thought he would achieve that.
He seemed very happy, very excited to have custody of his kid.
Yeah. And I think he's worked really hard for that. And Kaygan says, I love living with my dad and Lindsey. And yeah, like Lindsay's like my mom, which was cute.
Oh,
It's
and it was
cute.
sincere. You can totally
Mhm.
tell that the producers did not tell him to say that.
No, he's
Yeah.
8. He's going to say whatever he thinks. So Lindsay says, well, Blaine got custody of Kaygan. Miley's moving in. We have a new house. So what's next? A wedding to Blaine. And
Mm-mm.
and Kaygan goes, my dad said he doesn't know about that.
Ooh, Daddy got to quit telling and saying everything in front of Kagan because he's gonna tell it. Life's like, oh shit, is this bitch gonna throw something in his room because the kid just told her the truth?
And he says, he goes, let me tell you what, I'd love to marry Lindsay, but every time she gets pissed off, she flies the coop.
She
And then we
does.
and then we see some
Yeah,
footage of her just running out the door every time. She's like a
yeah.
Holly from 90 Day the Other Way. She just runs out the door every time she gets upset.
I don't blame. Ooh, blame Blaine. That was a
Yes,
lot.
that's
Yeah,
hard. That's
blame
that's hard.
Blaine for
Mhm.
this decision because she's not shown him security. You
Right.
know, every time she gets upset, there she fucking goes. I mean, and when she goes, she packs shit. Like she
Yeah, oh, she
packs
gets
everything she owns, and it is gone.
she gets a roller bag and heads on out.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
I'm gonna be
does.
gone a while.
Mm-hmm.
But remember when they were living at his mother's house?
Mm-hmm.
Remember he said something to her about he really wanted to get married, and she was like, "Whoa,
I remember.
no, yeah, don't we
Uh-huh.
don't be talking about that."
Now the tables have turned.
So Gabby drops her off. Brenda drops her off, and okay, now, all right. In Miley's room, she has two banners. One is like Swift 2024, Save
Mm-hmm.
America Again. That
Mm-hmm.
that one we understand, but the other one says his homie was hotter. His homie was hotter.
I didn't even see that,
I
and I
don't know
have
what that
no idea
means.
what that means.
Somebody let us know what his homie was hotter means. I'm sure
I
it
don't
means
get
something
it.
to the kids out there.
Yeah.
And then people were very upset that she had a pink and pink pill thing on her bed, which the teenagers call that a chill
A
pill. It's
chill
like a little
pill.
pillow. It's a little
Yeah.
pillow.
That's been the style for a little while now, like things that are in pills. I
Yeah.
personally think it's cute. I like it.
It's a chill pill,
It's a
like a
chill
chill
pill. Yeah, chill
pillow. It's a
pillow.
pill. Get it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The people were upset since they had drug problems. Whatever. Get over it. It's not Miley's fault. So,
It's a what do they call those pillows?
Squishmallow.
Squishmallow. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, get over it. It's this fucking
We have
squishmallow.
so many squishmallows in this house. I just,
So do between Skylar and Mila, I
uh
think the
huh,
whole damn factory's here.
agree.
Yeah,
Anna's
I
room.
don't get it.
Every so often I'll go in Anna's. She has like a day bed kind of a bed,
Hmm.
so it's three sides. So it's like a crib without one side.
Right
I go in her room sometimes, and all the squishmallows are facing the wall.
now,
And I'm like,
okay, is there a reason
I'm,
behind that? Are
I'm
they
like,
punished?
are they all in trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, sometimes I just like to see all their little tails. It's like,
Oh my gosh.
or she's like, things were going on in here they didn't need to see. I was like, okay. Um,
Okay.
all right. So then we see Blaine, and he says, I do worry that Lindsey is taking on more than she can handle, which she does, right? So we know that she's in school at Ole Miss. She's in the business school, and we know that she works. So she works an overnight shift at a rehab center,
Hmm.
then goes to school all day. And now she's got Mylie there, and now they've got this 8-year-old there.
It's a
And there's another,
lot.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. And filming a TV show. Let's add that in.
Yeah. That's a lot. But boy, did she have those girls squeezed up to heaven in
Oh,
her.
yeah.
Oh, I was like, good Lord in heaven. What?
Well, she's still young. Got those good boobs,
I
you
know.
know? Yeah.
Yeah. I had a
So,
smidge of jealousy.
yeah. So Brenda and Lindsey talk in the kitchen, and Brenda says it's going to be, hard not having Mylie there.
Yeah, I
And then she
bet.
tells us that she literally raised Mylie since she was like 2,
Mm-hmm.
and she's happy to be just a grandmother, but it's going to be an adjustment. And then we find out that Brenda is
Mm-hmm.
technically her step grandmother,
I was
no
just
blood
like,
relation at
none.
all.
Isn't that something?
But she raised Lindsey since she was 6 months old,
Mm-hmm.
and then when Lindsey went to prison, she raised Mylie too.
Can,
Brenda's a saint.
can we give this woman her flowers right now?
I
Because
mean,
not a lot of people would do that.
mm-mm.
Because how old do you think she is?
Well, let's look here. Okay, so Lindsey is 30.
Okay.
So I bet she's
In her
60 something.
70s? You think
60s
60
or
something?
70s. Yeah. Hmm.
Bless her.
Bless her. She's really, really stepped it up.
Yes, she has.
And then Brenda cries and says, when Mylie came to live with us, that was right when Granddad passed.
Mm-hmm.
So she really saved me in a way. And,
Yeah.
but Brenda needs to go on a cruise with some friends.
Yes, she does. And I hope they are still active with her because she needs that. Or she
Yeah.
could easily slip into some kind of she needs to go hang out with fucking Donna, maybe. They could become
Yes.
girlfriends and do cruises and shit like that.
Yeah. 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 So in her talking head, Lindsay tells us she's been sober now 2 years, which is
Mm-hmm.
great.
Great.
And she says in the past, drugs ran her life. And the whole thing with Scott is what gave her the PTSD. And then we see her, acting crazy, carving
And
the
and
stuff.
unfortunately we had to see Scott's lips
I
again.
know. I
One more
know.
time
Well,
for the people in the back. Here Scott's
that
lips.
guy, that guy.
Yeah.
She says she was only out for 6 weeks with
Damn.
Scott in 2020 before she got locked up again.
Mm.
And Brenda tells Lindsay, like, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough, but you'll figure it out. Like, you got to just make her stay on the straight and narrow. You got to do things.
Yeah.
Now, okay. So now that, Lindsay is sober and has a family, we see her all the time, Keisha, posting on social media,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's how we know that Blaine's got these extra kids. So I
Right.
feel like she's probably gearing up for holiday photos, matching,
Mm-hmm.
everything matching. Puts the bows in the little kids' hair. And we can't control aspects of the holiday, like we just can't. But we want to make sure that you feel confident and camera ready for your pictures. And that's why we're excited to partner with Apostrophe. So, Apostrophe's goal is to help you feel confident in your skin, whether you're dealing with like breakouts, signs of aging, acne scarring, all the things, some of the things. They will help you love the skin you're in so you'll look great for these pictures. Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you with an expert dermatology team. You get customized acne treatment or whatever is the treatment that you need for your skin. You'll get access to oral medication, topical medications, one or the other or both. They also send you some sunscreen. You fill out this online consultation about your skin goals and your medical history. Then you snap a few selfies, and then the dermatology provider will create this treatment plan for you. They sent me a picture of who this dermatologist was. Like, this is Dr. So-and-so. He's going to be helping.
Oh,
Great.
nice.
Thank you, Dr. Ronald, whatever his name was. So Apostrophe, what they do is they offer access to prescription treatments, and then you don't have to go to the office and do any of that. You send them what the problem is, give the pictures, they write you back with a treatment plan, and then you agree to it, and there it is, and you're good. I got my prescription, which is like a tretinoin, I believe is what it's called,
Mm.
and my sunscreen from Apostrophe, and I've been applying it every other night. I'm a rule follower. It says you're supposed to do it every other night for like 2 weeks, and then if it works, then you can use it every night. But they send you real detailed instructions, and I want my skin to look good in all my upcoming pictures of my vacation.
That
And
medicine works.
yeah, all that
Works
stuff, it
good.
will really
Yeah.
slough off what your problem is. And I'm targeting the age spots because I'm really, from the laying out in the sun with baby oil from when I was a teenager. We didn't know. We didn't know. Who could use some of that is freaking Melissa's dad. He could use some.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I love how simple it is to sign up for your first visit, and I love the whole unboxing because they send you cute stickers. And here is the deal for our audience. You're going to get your first visit to Apostrophe for only $5. It's normally $20. Go $5 at apostrophe.com/pinkshade when you use the code pinkshade. So $15 savings. You go to apostrophe.com/pinkshade and then use the code pinkshade. This code is only available to our listeners. Apostrophe.com/pinkshade. Click get started and then use code pinkshade at sign up, and you'll get your first visit for only $5. And I thank you, Apostrophe, for sponsoring this episode. Okay, let's move on to Shavel. Now, maybe Shavel and
Oh,
Quaylon are the ones that people were excited to hear us talk about. What do you think?
yeah. I have a feeling there were certain parts
Um,
that had me pretty hyped up.
um, so we're still at the venue now. We're
Mm-hmm.
still at that first room of the venue, and they're arguing and they're arguing, and it is we do hear Quaylon saying, pray
Yeah.
for me," which was
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Because
What
they
is the
really wanted to
deal?
go at it.
What is the deal with those pants? Because we saw Mike and Justine wearing those pants. They're like parachute pants or like cargo pants, but
They're
then they've
coming
got
back.
some sort of, but then they've got like a belt around the knee or something. What's
Yeah,
happening?
I can do the cargo part. I can't do the belt. No,
It's just
no.
decoration. Like what's that for?
Yeah, it's
So
not.
I don't get
It's,
it.
you're just thinking of shit you just throw on the clothes now.
Yeah, you may as well just wrap a ribbon around the other knee. It makes no
Right.
sense. Makes no sense. But they had him on. That's what he had on, and so we hear Quaylen's mom say, "I don't fight street people. Yeah,
Yeah.
just keep on walking with your SpongeBob shape." Oh Lord.
Oh boy, the accuracy though. The accuracy,
She is pretty square, but that really wasn't nice.
It wasn't nice. It was
Mhm.
not. Um but the accuracy was there.
But
It just
it was true. It was true.
yeah. And so some people, because I thought she said, which is SpongeBob SquarePants looking ass, just like your daughter. And then some people were like,
Uh,
did she say like your daughter? Because if she said like your daughter, that makes it 100 times funnier because they're
Also
shaped
not
just alike.
nice. I
Oh
didn't hear
no,
her say
no.
I didn't hear her say like your daughter.
It sounded like, and I kept replaying. I was like, it sounds like she said like your daughter. Then I started looking at people were like, yeah, she said like your daughter. So I don't
Oh
know. Yeah.
no,
It wasn't very
Quilandria.
nice, but
No.
no, neither was the things that her mom was saying either. She's saying very nasty things about Quaylon
Yeah. Well,
that
yeah.
just yeah,
Hmm.
it's
He was
I
in jail for over 10 years for armed robbery.
mm-hmm.
So you do.
Yeah, but I don't like it when people belittle other people in front of that person. I don't like that. So she's saying all
Oh.
these things about him being this, and that in front of him,
Hmm.
whereas that's a conversation that you have with your kid behind the scene.
You'd rather her just say, "Get your SpongeBob shape out of here," because that was belittling her in front of herself.
There's certain levels to belittling.
This sounds like you're trying to make it right.
Because it was so funny. It just
It was
was.
funny. I
It's
gotta say, it
funny.
was funny. It was
Yeah.
funny. It was funny. So he's out there talking to his mom. He's like, "Oh my God, Mom, we're both going to end up in
Yeah.
jail. Stop. Please
Yeah.
stop. We're both going to end up in jail."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'm not going to jail." And then we see Shavel and her mom talking. And Sylvia says, "We have already discussed that Dad and I are not helping in any way to pay for this
Oh.
wedding at all. I'm going to attend, but I'm not helping pay for it."
And it's
And
because she's marrying Quaylon. And
she
she
says,
doesn't think
"I
he's
won't
good
pay for
enough.
that." And she's like pointing at
Yeah.
Quaylon. Yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
that
That's not
means like,
nice.
let me ask you this. When you see the two of them together in their talking head,
Mm-hmm.
he looks so baked
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
and so sweaty.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Why did they need to powder him up a little bit?
I don't know if it was sweat or like a really good moisturizer, because sometimes when I have on a really good moisturizer, it looks like I'm sweating. And someone
Yeah.
say, "Why are you sweating?" I'm like, "Fuck you. I'm trying to have smooth skin." But he
That's
is
that's a,
most
that's a
definitely.
nighttime. That's a nighttime level moisturizer where you can
I
see it on the
agree.
skin. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like he did like you put baby oil on
Yeah.
before his but he most definitely looks high in every scene that he's in.
Yeah. He definitely does. And also, did we forget that he's got some sort of tattoo situation
Yes, he
above his
does.
eye and
Uh-huh.
around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you know someone's about that thug life.
Yeah.
Gotta
He's
have that
tattoo right
tattoo.
above your eye.
That's
Yeah.
right. It probably says blessed, like
Oh
Lisa
God.
from Stan and Lisa.
Or it might just be
Blessed.
like the shape of Texas because they
It
love to
might.
get the shape of their state on their face too.
And he's from Houston. So
Oh.
Houston people are really big about being from Houston or
Uh-huh.
Scrooston, or how, it's
Hmm.
a huge culture down here. So it very well may say that.
Wow. So, Mom says, "I want to help pay for that." And now Chevelle cries in her talking head and she goes, my mom and her are very close. And I've always thought my mom would be there for me no matter what. And it hurts my heart that she's
Yeah.
acting like this.
Yeah.
But now we go to Chevelle and Quaylen's house, which is 100% also an Airbnb.
Yeah, I peeped that. But hold on.
Okay.
Can we go back to the part where Chevelle's mom tells Chevelle that you're the cream of the crop? You're
Uh-huh.
perfect.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Go
And I
ahead.
was like, the
You were
accuracy that Calandria has,
mm-hmm.
Chevelle's mom doesn't have. Because I'm just like,
Well, listen, Chevelle's mom thinks that about her own child. And
mm-hmm.
and that's good. You should think that about your own child.
I'm a realist,
Well,
and
Chevelle has a good job, and I think she's
mm-hmm.
always supported herself and her daughter. Now, she did move from Missouri to Texas to be with this man who then broke up with her for a year. Um,
Yes, and cheated on her while they were together,
yeah,
and is
yeah,
also an ex-con.
right.
So yeah.
So, cream of the crop maybe wouldn't be where I would go for the
Mm-hmm.
description.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
But
point.
she said she was beautiful. But of course she says that because they look just alike. So she's
Right.
almost just complimenting herself right there in that moment. It's like,
That's a great point.
yeah, she looks good.
Oh. So they're at their house and she's making dinner. And he
Spaghetti, of
said,
course. That's all these people cook.
everybody
It's
makes
always spaghetti.
spaghetti.
I don't get it.
Is that because it's just something so easy and
Simple.
non-complicated
Yeah.
to make on camera?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just
It
pasta
has to
and
be.
yeah, yeah. But they were getting out. They had a bottle of wine on the table and looked
Mm-hmm.
like they had salad dressing and they
Yeah.
were looked like they had some garlic bread going.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, he's been working really hard. He's got a warehouse job, and he says he's working on getting his license for cutting hair. And he pulls
Yeah.
out some shears there.
Mm-hmm.
So then Mylie comes home. God, that child is just so cute.
Yes.
It's
She is.
Mylie, right? And I think
Myla.
that is
Yeah.
it's Mylie, and I think that is sometimes why I have thought your niece's name is Mylie because of this one's name, but yours is Myla.
Myla. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So Mylie comes in. Gosh, she's cute. And she's like, "I'm home. Hi, this isn't our house, but okay."
And
And
you could
he's
tell the way they were going around in that kitchen. They didn't know where anything was. Every
mm-mm.
time they went to go get something, they had to think for a second. Like, okay, at our real house, it's over here, but in
Yeah.
this Airbnb, it's over. Yeah, they were totally not used to being in there.
And there's just like one thing on the counter. That's how you can tell
Mm-hmm.
it's fake because they don't have. Normally in a home, you've got like your mail stacked up there. Somebody
Yes,
threw the
that's
purse on
true.
the counter.
Yes.
And she goes, "Hi, I'm home," and she's just so cute. So he's asking her like, "Do you have homework and everything?" And she says, "No, it's the weekend." Like, duh, we're filming
Duh.
this on a Saturday. Hello. And he says, "Well, we're talking about the wedding," and Shavel says, "What do you think? What do you want your role to be in the wedding?" And she was like, I've always wanted to be a flower girl since like I was born." And so that's really cute. And she'll be very cute in her flower girl
Yes.
outfit. And Chevelle says, like, looking around, seeing this life, like, with her daughter and her, soon to be husband there, and they're sitting down having a family meal, and everybody's got a job, and it just seems very kind of, leave it to Beaver. And she
Yes.
says, "This is every girl's dream is to have this life. And also, it's a little scary because of the past."
Mm-hmm.
She's not
Oh,
wrong.
yeah,
She's not
I
wrong.
get it. Now, have you heard the story about the house fire in Quaylon?
Mm-mm. Hmm?
Okay,
Mm-mm.
so apparently at some point while they were together, and I
Mm-hmm.
think I remember this happening. I had just forgotten about it, but someone in one of the groups I'm in, they mentioned. I'm like, oh yeah, and they were just kind of saying how Quaylen's a loser, and did she
Well,
forget about the fire? So apparently he was the only one home when a fire broke out. And
okay.
they said that he was more concerned about getting his stuff than trying to get the dogs that were there, and the two dogs died in the house fire.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
Was
Mhm.
this back in his armed robbery days, or this was recent?
This is when Chevelle, they were together. So I can't remember. I don't think it was they weren't in Texas yet. I think it was when they were in the other state where she's from.
Uh-huh.
And there was a house fire, and he grabbed his stuff instead of trying to rescue the dogs, and the dogs died.
Stop. That's a terrible sad story.
It's horrible.
Oh my God.
It's horrible. So some people are just like they can't get over it. Quaylen's back. I mean, I'll be pretty fucking pissed off if James got out alive and all my animals,
Oh my
were in the house.
God. This is
Yeah, yeah,
tragedy. Oh
yeah.
my gosh. All
Got
right.
to
Well,
get the
let's
fur babies.
let's go over. Oh my gosh. Let's go to Mike and Justine.
I'm not
Still
happy about any of this.
still don't know if they've had this new baby, but we
They've
assume
had the
baby
baby. I was
baby
on
8
her.
is here. Yeah, but we just don't know.
I think the baby she said is 5 months right now.
Jeez.
And they just and
Eh,
she alluded to she couldn't show the baby until the baby is shown on the show. But
Right.
I just don't like this whole situation at all. Point blank. Period. Pissed me off once
I
again.
know. I
Yeah.
know.
Nah,
And
nah.
I stand for Mike,
We know.
Montana Mills, but
Yes. Who needs to learn how to
this is
close his mouth? Like his mouth is always open.
well, he's got those big teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is hard. This is rough. All right. So it's
Mm-hmm.
5 months out of prison. He's 5 months out of prison. They're headed back to Rhode Island for him to visit his kids.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we have a car full of kids. Not as many are about to be in it, but currently we've
Yeah.
got her oldest daughter Kylie, who's 18,
Mm-hmm.
her middle son Santana, who's 13,
Mm-hmm.
her youngest son Bentley, who's 10, and then we have his son, who is his second child, Michael Jr., who's 14.
Right.
Okay. We've got 4 of the 7 kids in the car.
Yeah.
And he tells us due to his parole, he couldn't go outside of the state of Pennsylvania. But now it's been lifted and he can and he's able to move around. And then she's telling them as she's driving, "Hey, we haven't told anybody about moving to Vegas. So just don't bring it up. Like, don't say it to anybody." You're telling 4 kids
Kids.
in a car not to say,
Yeah.
okay. All
You
right.
might as well have gotten a billboard with, "Hey, we're moving to Vegas" on it because kids are gonna spill. They can't.
They can't help themselves. They're
No.
not trying to mess it up. They just tell things.
Yeah, it's like telling me a fucking secret.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not true because I've told you many secrets and
Yeah,
you've
I
never
can
told
hold it.
anybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she tells them, don't tell anybody. And Kylie is going to University of Nevada at
Hmm.
Las Vegas. I'm like, is that the same as, yeah, UNLV? Okay, I just answered my own question. UNLV, University of Nevada at Las Vegas.
Where they just had a shooting at.
Oh, they did?
Hmm.
Oh God. Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
This
it's
week,
not
literally
good.
this week.
Okay.
Yeah, a guy who did get hired for a professor position went back and shot
Mm.
up the school, but I don't think anyone was killed.
Okay, well, that's good. I
Yeah.
put my head in the sand. because I can't know these things because then I will not think. Now I'm never going to stop thinking about Shavel and Quaylon's dogs. I mean, like that's why I can't know things. I can't know things.
Yeah.
It just it sits on my heart. So,
Yeah.
you know, and as Justine says, yeah, Kylie is going to UNLV. I can't be that far from her, so I have to move where she is. But it's okay for him
Mm-mm.
to be 12 states over from 3 of his 4 children. What?
And I'm sorry. Yes, he is wrong, but for some odd reason, I put more fault on her because I think, okay, look, his rap career is peaked. This is not going any higher than it is now, okay? And
Mhm.
she even said at one point, we're not just going for his career. It's because Kylie's moving to Las Vegas.
Mhm.
Which, okay, that's fine, but you've got like 15 other kids that you're
Mhm.
uprooting or leaving behind so you can be close to your daughter.
Mhm.
I think that's fucked up.
I think it's not true. I think he wants to go to Vegas because he think that's a good place to be for his career. Also centrally located if he needed to get back and forth to LA. And she's using this Kylie thing as an excuse, but it's just an excuse for him to be further away from 3 of his 4 children.
Why can't he fly back and forth?
He
That's a
can,
lot
but that's
cheaper.
very expensive.
Well,
Yeah.
to me, there's I don't know how they're even surviving because she is a stay-at-home mom.
Mhm.
He's got this rap career that is not really a rap career. It's the
Mhm.
equivalent of a high school kid saying, I want to be a rapper.
Mhm.
Where's the money coming from? Because if I'm his parole officer, I'm looking at him kind of sideways. Like, how are you able to afford all of this? Are you back
Mhm.
dealing drugs? And then we
Mhm.
know his big producer is in all kinds of trouble. So
Mhm.
what?
It's all sus. It's all
It really
sus.
is. It is.
And that makes me hard. But listen, sometimes I have to change my mind on these people. Sometimes I
My
have to
mind
change my
is
mind.
permanently changed with these people, especially as
Oh,
their scene goes on and on and on. It gets worse.
yeah. Sorry, I had to take a sip. Okay. So he says when he was in prison, he would put his kids' pictures up in chronological order so he could watch them grow. He just
Hmm.
can't go through this again. He wants to be with them.
I can't tell
Okay. So, okay. Okay. So you can't go through it again. You want to be with them. So are we going to find out
that they
that
all moved.
that they're all going to move to Vegas, and then Justine, who's going to have a newborn, is also then going to take care of 7 other children?
How can they afford to feed all of these kids?
I don't know. Are they
There
getting
has to be some kind
government
of government
assistance?
assistance. There's just no
Yeah.
way that there's not. But also, they made it seem like his sister has been raising his
Uh huh.
kids. Where are
Yep.
their mothers at?
Right. Great question. Yeah.
Hmm.
Great question.
He knows
So
how to pick them.
so he walks in. He walks in to his sister's house and he sees Nova and Mason. Now remember, Nova and Mason are both 6 years old because
Yes.
he had 2 different women pregnant with them at the same time.
Uh huh.
So we have Melody, Michael Jr., and then I don't know if Nova or Mason go with which one, because one of the 2 of them go with a different mom.
Right. And
But they're all
Nova
being
is the cutest
oh
little.
my god, they're so cute. Those kids are so
He
cute.
makes cute babies. I will say that. He makes them
So
cute.
we did see Anne has a we know Anne has a wife, but
Right.
she was as quick as she could, skirting right out of the kitchen. She's like, skirt, skirt, see ya. She was
She was
like,
like,
don't put
look,
me on. Mm-mm.
she's like, last time I was in an episode and I said enough to get my $100 Walmart gift certificate, people
Yeah.
started recognizing me on the streets. That's too much for me. Not doing it again. Not worth it.
Do do not fail
No.
me.
Mm-mm.
So Anne is asking him and asking both of them, like, how do of course you see they have on a matching outfit,
Yeah. The
Justine
red pants and the black top.
and
Yeah.
Mike. And so she says, how are you gonna do when you're alone with all these kids?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, we're gonna be fine. And he goes, my concern is I have a whole other set of kids in Pennsylvania, and my kids in Rhode Island are probably wondering why their dad can't be in the state where they are.
Do you
They
think?
are wondering that. So your
Yeah.
solution is to move to Las Vegas?
Yeah. I don't, to me, they are both so selfish. They started off being selfish by having this baby so soon,
Right.
which
Agree.
they planned.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have not even given these kids a chance to adjust to anything. this guy's fresh out of prison. How do you know he's going to do right? And now you're going to add
Right.
another baby when he's not even able to see his other kids regularly?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But she wanted that.
I know. Yeah.
Mm.
And they've got, if so Melody's 16, so we've got
Hmm.
at least 2 more years till she's off at college,
Right.
you know? And unless she's like super young for her grade or something. So, Anne says, listen, at the end of the day, you have to make these kids a priority no matter what.
Hmm.
And he tells us his sister really stepped up to the plate, when he was away and raised his 4 kids. Again, we
Hmm.
don't know where these mothers are. And they're telling the kids like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We're so excited. We're going to have a family day tomorrow. We're going to get to go stay at a hotel.
Hmm.
They all get ready to go. Now, when they're filming some of these scenes, little Nova at some point is like picking up and hugging, and then other scenes you see her kind of covering her ears, like it was a lot of chaos for her.
Yeah, that's
You
how
know?
I would have been. Like, that's way too much. I'm like, 6 of y'all got to stay behind.
Yeah.
Like, I'm only taking one. And then there was this one scene where Justine is sitting on the couch and little Nova's next to her. And
Mhm.
Nova's kind of has her hand on Justine's belly.
Yeah.
And Justine's not paying any attention to her at all.
No, she's listening to what somebody else is saying. Yeah, it's a
It's
lot of people.
And so I also noticed that Michael's oldest daughter, she constantly is looking at him. Like,
I
that girl
know.
needs her dad so bad. My heart just
Melody.
breaks for her because she's
Mhm.
constantly looking at him, like, just looking at him like that's my dad, and just wondering, is he going to
Yeah.
say, is he going to break my heart again? Or
Yeah.
she needs her dad big time.
Yeah. And I do wonder why Michael Jr. moved with him and not why him. Was he having problems in school and they thought he could benefit from being with his dad? Or like, why did Michael Jr., the second oldest, you know what I mean?
It may
Yeah.
have something to do with the moms. Maybe Melody's mom doesn't want her to move to another state.
Well, Melody, Michael Jr., and
They have
either
the
Nova
same
or
mom?
Mason all have the same mom. It's one of the 6-year-olds that has a different mom. The other 3 are together.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Melody, Michael Jr., and let's just say it's Nova have the same mom, and then Mason has a different mom because he had
Okay.
his like for all intents and purposes his partner, his wife
Yeah.
had 3 kids, and then he got another girl pregnant while his wife was also pregnant, and those kids came at the
Mm-mm-mm.
same time.
But
And then he
that's
went
your
to jail.
hero over there.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
fine.
Mhm.
So Melody's like, this is hard. There's lots of people and whatever. It's
Yeah.
hard to be away from my dad and all this. So now we have all 7 kids in the car with Justine and Michael.
Yeah.
And they go to a hotel. And of course, they all have matching pajamas. Because one time he said he thought that shit was cute. And
And
now she
they
can't
have
stop.
run
She
with
can't
it.
stop. She can't
Timu
stop.
must have had a special on matching pajamas because that is like the only way they could afford all of those pajamas.
Oh my
Like,
God.
come on.
Those things, you're walking across the carpet and you go to flip the light switch and that shocked the hell out of you. That is some satin fabric that will shock the shit out of you when
Yes.
it's like you put it on, it's going, it's like sparking,
Yeah.
Yeah. And imagine they're all in the bed just bumping up against each other, shocking each other.
Yeah. You shocked me. No, you shocked me. It was a
Oh
lot.
my God. So they put 3, 4 in a bed and I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
So now we see Kylie and Melody together. And so they
Mhm.
are 18 and 16. And Kylie is doing Melody's makeup and they're talking. And they're talking about like, how the boys were going nuts last night. Boys are so weird. Look at our brothers. They don't even know
Right.
how to act at a hotel. And then Kylie says something about, oh yeah, that'll be even crazier when we go to Vegas. And Melody's like, what? And of course, first of all, I'm sure this was set up. I'm sure this was set up. Oh, Kylie, you need, because she said it in the car. So Kylie, make sure you say it. I'm sure it's set up. Whatever. I don't believe anything anymore. I'm so jaded. And
But it
Kylie
didn't
said,
look like Melody. It seemed like this was her first time hearing about
it
this.
did seem that way.
Yeah.
But we don't know if maybe she's going to college on an acting career. We don't know. But Melody,
You just won't let it be real a little bit, will you?
it's hard. On this particular show, it's real hard.
This
Um,
scene looked real to me, just from the emotions.
yeah, because Melody kind of is like, wow,
Wait,
what,
yeah,
like what?
yeah.
And she goes, oh yeah. She was like, it's it's not up to me. Like, this is what they planned, and yeah, I am
Right.
going to school there, and you should come visit or something. And then Kylie says, you just really need to sit down and have like a serious talk with your dad about this, right?
Ugh, boy.
So in her talking head, Melody goes, my dad just got home. He's
Yeah.
not even with us day to day. Then he
Hmm.
got married and he's having a baby and now he's moving. Like, it's
It's a
just all
lot.
too fast. It's too fast. He just got out,
It hasn't even been a year,
No, it's been
and
5 months.
all of this is happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's too much.
It is too much. Well, I was thinking, so Mike and Justine have these 7 kids that they have to outfit in somewhat matching clothes. So we're concerned about their finances. So a great place for them to shop for super high quality, gorgeous clothes, then they could match is Quince. So I'm totally obsessed with Quince. It's one of our sponsors. I was talking to my sister about Quince just this weekend because they had these I know I'm saying it wrong. It's like Ponte, Ponte, this fabric that you could get in the pants. It just fits so nice, and they're just nice, a flat waistband. So flattering, these
I know
pants
what
they
you're
have.
talking about.
You know that
Yes.
material? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is perfect for Mike and Justine because they have so many kids
Yeah.
with so many sizes, and Quince has 365-day returns. So if they get something and it doesn't fit kid number 1 through 7, they can return it and they'll get the free shipping to ship back the thing that does work. It's free shipping. It's 365-day returns with my code. They have these timeless pieces that'll stay in your closet forever, and they could get matching cashmere for the family.
Okay.
Everybody in the family could have a cashmere sweater.
Mm-hmm.
The cashmere starts at $50. They have these gorgeous silk items as well, gorgeous skirts and tops and luggage. They have luggage. They have home items, baby clothes. They have jewelry. They have gorgeous handbags. I just ordered some little flat black tennis shoes, and they have great socks. Okay?
Oh,
Everything. The socks are really, really good. Matt Moore was just telling me like yesterday how much he loves the socks from Quince. I was like, they have so many things. He's like, but the socks.
something
So
about those socks.
something about those socks. So all of Quince's items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. You make sure to check out the little chart at the bottom of each item, and it compares the prices to other well-known brands. And if I ever get to chat with Mike and Justine again, I'm going to tell
Mm-hmm.
them about Quince. Uh, Mike and Justine, listen to me. Take the drama out of planning your outfits. Upgrade your closet with Quince today. You're going to go to quince.com/pinkshade. You'll get free shipping on your order, 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/pinkshade. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/pinkshade. And please, please let me know what you got because I'm completely obsessed with it. Completely obsessed. All right, let's go on to Tayler and Chance. Oh my
Do we
God.
have to?
We have to.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in this opening scene, Chance has the baby, whose name is Mason. He has him on the couch. He's like bouncing him around. Did you notice the oldest daughter, who probably is 13, was also on the couch with her head like covered with the blanket with like an iPad and some headphones on? She was on the other part of the
Typical
couch.
13-year-old sounds like it to me, but
She
I didn't
she
even
did.
see her.
I didn't see her till the second time I watched it.
No, I didn't see her at all. But the funny thing about it is, I kept saying, "Where's the oldest daughter at?"
That's where
Because
she was, right there.
okay, all right,
hmm
trying to
Because there was
pretend like this is not her family nor her life.
because little squirt number 2 was
Mm-hmm.
asleep next to him, and you could just see her head there. And then squirt number 3 was going around on like adult size rollerblades around the house, which didn't look
Yeah,
safe at all.
nothing in
Oh,
that house is safe.
there's 2 huge dogs. 2 huge dogs.
The house is not big enough for all that they've got going on, nor is
Uh-uh.
it clean enough.
No, their house looks like a construction site. It looks
Yeah,
like a construction site. It looks like somebody got real methy and started a project and then left it. That's what it
I
looks
think
like.
that's what happened.
That he is trying so hard to try out every style in that house. He's like, you know what I think would go right here would be great? Some wooden columns.
Yeah,
Let's put some
just that's
wooden
so
columns just
fucking
right here in the middle of
stupid.
this room.
It makes no sense at all. Like it doesn't match with anything.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I don't understand, and I don't understand why she keeps letting him do these things to her house.
I mean, later we're in the kitchen and I was like, eh,
I know,
what is happening in this kitchen?
I know.
It's like he's got like an epoxy countertop on
Yeah,
top of where the stove is, but then like it's not lined up. They
yeah,
didn't seal any of the edges or anything.
yeah. They probably ran out of
Everything is
money.
everything is half done. It's like
Hmm.
when Kimberly moved to India with TJ, everything is half done.
Sad. And then you've got these poor kids unsafe. Like the safety inspector would come to that house and give them an F.
You're right. You're
It's
right.
bad.
So Bobbie arrives and she has been in and out of rehab.
Hmm.
And she says staying sober is really important to her. It's very hard every day, but she is working on it.
Hmm.
And then Tayler goes, "Do you want to see all the things that Chance has done in the house? Let me show you."
That was nothing to show. She should have told Bobbie, stay right here in this one room. Don't go any further in the house. Like, what is she? So she thinks that shit looks good.
So I guess they put all three girls in one room, but
Hmm.
each girl has their own little playhouse. So they have their
Yeah.
own space, which I
Uh-huh.
get. I get it. But
Hmm.
that room is too small for that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She
Way
should have
too
just lined
small.
up three beds in there like a dorm.
But hey, she had to go with whatever Chance half drew out in his head. That's what they went with.
Oh my god! And the baby gets his own room,
Yeah.
and Bobbie is telling Taylor, she's telling us that she's been dating a really great guy named Scott, and they
Hmm.
are inseparable. That's
Yeah.
what she says. We are
Uh,
inseparable. So,
hmm.
she's saying that she and Scott are looking for a place together,
Hmm.
and Taylor goes, "Yeah, it's so this is so set up, so fake." Chance Chance and I were with a client yesterday, and it was so weird because he was kind of rude and obviously was like, "Hey, we have to go." And I was like, "Something's going on. Something must be bothering him." And then we
She's
get a flash of Chance scratching his butt. And then we see the torn apart kitchen. Like the cameramen are zooming in on all the things that are
yeah,
torn apart.
and it's fucked up. Like it's really bad, really
Bobbie
bad.
says, "Yeah, that is kind of shady that he would say that, huh?" So stupid. Anyway, Bobbie says, "I do worry that if nothing changes and these two never trust each other,
Yeah.
it's never going to work. They both question each other constantly." What's he
Well,
questioning her? She who has time?
why are they not questioning who's going to get that diaper wedgie out of that baby's butt? Like the poor thing.
I
It
was waiting
took
for
Bobbie
poop.
coming over there. Like they had all these conversations. They were playing around with the baby. Bobbie got there. He still had it. It wasn't until they went on the house tour before someone got that diaper out of that baby's butt.
I was waiting for poop to come out of that diaper.
I thought that had to fucking hurt a little bit. That was highly uncomfortable. Like, have you ever been somewhere you have a wedgie, but there's too many people around and you can't get it out? That's really uncomfortable. That poor
Yes.
baby couldn't do anything about it.
You're
Poor
trying to like
thing.
walk and shake it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. So Taylor tells Bobbie, "I worry that he's not my forever because, he had so many secrets for so long. I mean, I want to believe he can change and be the man I want him to be, but I don't know if he can
I
change."
think he has proven time and time again he's not going to change. He doesn't know how to change, and he's most definitely not the man for you.
He's also getting worse.
Yes, he is.
Not
Yeah.
only not changing, he's getting worse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then we see Athena, that's the third kid, the one that was previously on the rollerblades, sitting with Bobbie. And Bobbie's like, "I have news to tell you. I want to tell everybody together." And of course, Taylor's like, "Are you pregnant?" And
I
she's
know.
like, "No, but Scott and I are going to get married." And then Chance is like, "Whoa, Bobbie's going to get married before us? Like, hey, like Bobbie's getting her happy ending. Where's mine?"
Like, what a prick. Who says that? And
Yeah.
in his defense, the way that Taylor was looking, her eyes were oozing with jealousy.
But Taylor doesn't want to get married, remember?
I know, but I
Yeah.
think she's jealous because Bobbie has someone worth actually marrying. Because she says,
Yeah.
this guy is, he works hard, he does this, he does that. And what the fuck can she say about Chance?
Nothing.
Nothing. He
Nothing.
got me pregnant.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
it.
So Taylor goes, I mean, I do worry about Bobbie getting married because of her history, obviously, but I don't want her to end up with a guy like Chance.
That's so sad to actually fucking say that.
What?
You're not supposed to say that out loud.
Wow. Wow. So Taylor's
Yeah.
talking to Bobbie and she goes, I'm glad you're getting married. That's so awesome. You get married and live out that dream for me because I'm never going to do that. I'm not stupid enough to marry this guy.
Well, you mentioned Bobbie being in and out of rehab.
Mm-hmm. What?
Judging by her Facebook post,
Oh no. What?
I think she may be using again.
Oh no.
So I'm going to read just a little bit
Okay.
that
All right. Here we
happened
go.
in.
Gird your loins. Here we go.
It's pretty bad. And some of it I'm just going to have to skip. So here's one post. It's a picture of her and Scott. I'm
Uh-huh.
only made for one dick. Daddy made me come quick. And you hoes mad. But I get it though. If you were in my shoes and have the man I have, I'd be mad too. Bitch, heart emoji. I love, period. My man's all caps, comma, he for me. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Then
Mm-hmm.
there's another post where she's
Hmm.
clearly talking to, I guess, one of his exes or maybe a girl who's trying to get with him. But
Uh-huh.
she makes some really, ooh, it was bad. Like she's making fun of disabled people.
Oh
She uses
no.
the R word,
Oh
and
no.
it's pretty transphobic as well.
Oh God.
Then she has
Bobbie.
one that says, let me see if I can even say all of this.
Well, be
So
careful.
here's part. I
Okay.
and I definitely ain't fucking the weed man. If you would, and she spells would, WULD, had a job, you spelled YU, wouldn't have to do that either. But you'd rather get $800 every month from the state than get a job. A grown ass, unemployed ass woman, sad as fuck. And she's just going on and on. Did you think you can whore around on him and he was going to be faithful to you? Laughing my ass off, narcissistic behavior. So she goes on and on and on. She's just talking to this woman and just saying all these horrible things. But then she's in people's inboxes saying, hey, girl. The person says, hey, do you have like $4 I can borrow? I'm on my way to work and need to put a couple of dollars in my gas tank. Then here's the girl gives her a thumbs up and then she goes, hey, girl, this is another date. So the first one was in August. The second one's September. Hey, girl, do you got $10 till Thursday? I'm trying to get gas to go to work, but don't get paid till Thursday. It doesn't sound good.
Why can't Scott give you $4 or $10 for your car?
I wonder the same thing. Several things. He cannot be all that she said, but he does look pretty okay from what
He
we
does.
see, but that doesn't mean that
Yeah.
he is. Maybe he only gives her a certain amount of money because maybe she's back using and he doesn't
Mm,
trust her to have a debit card or anything like that. Very,
yeah.
very weird. And the rants that she goes on just doesn't sound like someone who's in their right mind at
But
all.
what about who is she asking for the money? Did somebody post that and be like, look at Bobbie was posting this?
Yeah,
Or,
yes, she was. I guess she was going off, and this person was like, "Well, look, this is what you're doing. Here are the screenshots
yeah.
of you asking me
Oh,
for $4. How far is fucking $4 going to take you?"
I mean, you may as well walk. At $4.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
So yeah,
Oh
it just
God.
sounds like there's
Oh no.
stuff going on, but they're still together.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
there's that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now we're outside working in the yard. Okay. Scott arrives. And talking to him, we see Scott says, Bobbie has told me a lot about Chance and his money problems and his gambling problems. So I'm keeping an eye on him. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we get in the car and it's Chance and Scott. They're going somewhere. And
Mm-hmm.
Bobbie and Taylor stay in the yard working on her epoxy table or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Chance is so full of shit. He's like, I had this Cadillac one time. I mean, man, I think I was going like 220 or like 180 or something. Like I thought I would fly. You were never in a car that
No.
went 220 unless you were on a
No.
racetrack. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. And he actually says that shit thinking that people will believe him. The car would break down. The wheels would be burnt if you were trying to go to you can't
220?
go. No, you can't. You fucking idiot.
Oh my
Swear.
God.
Ugh.
So then Bobbie and Taylor, of course, like, I wonder why that car keeps driving by. There it goes again. That is so weird. do they want to like, hey, don't be in the yard? Like, are they mad because we have stuff in the front yard? That's so strange. So
It's the HOA president passing by right
right,
between.
right.
Yeah.
I don't think there's HOA in that neighborhood. So Tayler says, I just want to give Chance a chance to be who I want him to be. And Bobbie says, she's living her life in chaos just to be with
Yeah.
him, which is totally true.
Yeah.
Her inside of her house is chaos. Everything is chaos,
Yeah.
right?
She's right.
So now we see Chance and Scott go meet with a guy named Zach who's drinking a beer and is barefoot. And it's at like a junkyard with cars.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me a lot of, oh my God, it's Murder. It'll come to me in a second. It was in Minnesota or Wisconsin. It'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, it reminds me a lot of that family with the cars everywhere. And okay, everybody is screaming. Okay, so anyway, they go to this like junkyard / car lot, and they look at a '97 Cadillac, which is like a limo.
Mm-hmm.
It is so gross and old on the inside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Chance says, you know what I need? I need a job where I can make a lot of money in like 1 month, like life-changing money, like in 1 month. This is all Chance has ever said. He says the same thing over and over. He needs something that'll get money quick.
Yeah. If you work consistently at a job and save some money, you'd be surprised how life-changing that could be for you.
This is just a gambling addict's brain.
Yes.
He's just trying for the quick money. Everything is a get-rich-quick scheme. He
Right.
always has a new entrepreneurial idea every single time.
And has zero fucking idea how to run a business. He can't even run a house.
He can't finish one project in his own home.
Nope. Mm-mm.
He's got to see that torn up kitchen every time he goes in there to get some Cheetos.
Yeah.
So did you notice that he had on those same kind of True Religion pants that E. Scott had on Family Chantel? You guys, Keisha and I are covering the Family Chantel over on Pink Shade Prime.
Yes.
Finale this week. All right. So Chance says, I've really been thinking about getting into the party business. Because sure, why not? You've thought about getting into every other business. He loves the idea of investing in a limo. He's really got to get out of this debt. He's got 40 to 50K in debt.
Why doesn't he just be a limo driver on the weekends?
Right. Why didn't he just drive for Uber on the weekends? Anything.
Something. Yeah. You don't need to own anything. So
Zach is pointing to this 97 Cadillac, and he says, I make $7,500 a week off this limo. And, man, if you get in for 10%, you would make $600 or $700 a week off this limo. But you got to come up with $12,000 to invest. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And Chance goes, yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way, man. I got to come up with some quick money. And then he looks over at Scott and goes, don't tell Tayler, man. Don't squeal on me, man. Loose lips sink ships, man. Like, don't squeal on me.
Well, then he also asked him to invest in it.
Yeah. And he's like, also, do you have 12K laying around?
This person you've probably seen twice in your life. I don't know. That may have been the first time that he's ever met him. I don't know. And you're just asking him out of the blue to invest in this limo that looks like it won't even travel 20 miles.
It is a real situation.
Yeah.
And oh my God. So then in the talking head, Scott goes, yeah, Bobbie and I don't have any secrets from each other except for maybe her crazy Facebook account.
Right.
But yeah, I'm going to tell Bobbie. Bobbie.
Of course.
Yeah. So then we see Chance and Barefoot Zach in the limo. Who's driving? Who is driving?
I don't know.
I was glad Zach wasn't driving though, because we did see him drinking a beer and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, he cares so much about this investment that's bringing so much money into his life that he has his dirty ass feet on the seat while he's drinking a beer.
So, and Chance is like, yeah, I could get used to this. Yeah, this is the life. Yeah. So then we see the dude come by again in the Forerunner or whatever, and he's real fucking scary looking. He's real scary looking. And he drives up and Taylor's like, who's this guy? And he pulls up and this guy leans half the window down, not all the way down, with a cigarette out and goes, hey, where's your man? And she goes, what? He goes, where's your dude? Where's your husband? And she goes, he's not here. He went somewhere with Scott to invest in a limo. I don't know. And Bobbie goes, tell him Bobo says, not Bobbie. Bobo says, tell him Bobo said TikTok. She's like, what? What? And Bobbie's like, oh, I know that guy.
Shit,
Yeah,
right?
Bobbie's like, I recognize that motherfucker. Yeah.
Can you imagine someone passing by in front of my house and rolling down their window asking where James is?
Yeah. No, I can't. I can't
Can
imagine
you
how
imagine what
scary
I
that would
would have
be.
said for that person? Yeah. Like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to be asking me where my man is? How do you know my man, number one? You know what? Go ahead and get on out that car. Like, she's so dumb.
I know.
I don't get it.
Well, he was scary looking. She wasn't going to start popping off with him. He looked like he could be
I
packing.
would have popped off at him
Well,
driving by my fucking house asking where my man is on a Sunday while I'm out here trying to do artwork and shit with my sister.
I got 3 little squirts in the house. Also,
That's
who's
right.
taking care of Mason? Who was taking care of Mason?
Poor Mason. He's just taking care of himself.
Oh my God. All right. Next week, we see Kerok with his mom and says it's a disease. And mom said she's terrified. Now, I don't think they were talking about her cancer. I feel like they were
I don't
talking
know.
about an addiction of some sort.
Maybe.
Then we see Tayler talking to Chance and says, so like, did you know that guy that drove by? Like who was that guy? Like, I just wonder, like, how many more secrets do you have?
His head is full of secrets.
Lots.
Yeah.
Lots. Then we see Michael's mom asking Justine for a paternity test. She already said she was going to do it, so I don't know why anybody's surprised.
My mom's like that too. If it's not me pregnant, she doubts it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I'm like, are you insane, woman? She goes, you never know. It's mama's babies, daddy's maybe. That is her theory.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So Justine's mom is there and says, so basically you're calling her a tramp. And mom's like, I'm going to get the answer no matter what. So you may as well give it to me willingly, or
Yeah.
I'm going to swab you when you're not looking, is what she's saying.
Yeah. And we know she's done this before.
She's done it before. Now we see Eris driving with her friend, and she's like, well, we're going to find out where he's at. And then we see him at a strip club. He being your friend Cam.
He's probably filming one of his videos. Aries needs to chill.
It did look like he was filming a video.
You got to film it at the strip club.
I guess. And then we see Lindsey and Blaine talking to ponytail lawyer guy, and he says she's looking at 40 years.
Ooh.
So, because remember when she went on that parole violation when she was with Scott, she still had outstanding charges. So those are now coming to roost. But maybe she'll just get on 1 year house arrest like Blaine.
Well, we know she's not in prison, so.
No, she's a full-time student.
Yeah, they figured something out. I mean, when you've got a ponytail wearing attorney, you know he's going to work shit right on out for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's got that desk that looks like Better Call Saul with the like the columns of justice for the legs on the desk. Did you notice that? Yeah.
Well, he worked out that deal for Blaine, so
He sure did.
Yes, he
sure
did.
did.
Yeah, it's the power of the ponytail.
I think his name was Tyler, and I think when I talked to Lindsey when I interviewed her, she's like, "I love Tyler. Tyler's
I bet they
great."
do. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Well, Keisha, tell everybody what's happening over on the Libra Lounge with Keisha.
New episode's going to drop Monday. So after you listen to this, you can hear me double by going over to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. And I have to remind you guys that nothing that is said in that show has anything and is of no reflection of Pink Shade Podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to talk about Mama June's daughter just passed away.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Is that Honey Boo Boo's sister?
Yes, it is.
What's her name?
Anna. Which when they were on TLC, her name was, they called her Chickadee because they all got nicknames.
Well, how many kids are there total?
June has 4 kids, all girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So her daughter just passed away.
What happened?
Who else are we talking about?
What happened? How'd she die? What happened?
She had a very aggressive form of cancer.
Oh no.
Mary
Okay,
Payne,
I'm
I can't get
sorry.
you telling you all the shit that I'm going to say on my show.
Okay. All right. All right. All right.
We're
You're
going to
right.
talk about Lenny Kravitz, Black China, and Tyga and their custody deal. And we're also going to discuss whether or not, if you're going on a group trip, if
Uh-huh.
you should be properly accommodated by things that you like. So basically, we're talking about Meredith Marks and the bathtub.
She shouldn't have doubled up on her Xanax before she got on the flight, and then she might have been able to run faster to get her room.
It was just that no one gave any shits about her bathtub.
No.
None. No, 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 no. And we're
Mm-mm.
talking about a few other things, what's going on in celebrity news and gossip.
All right. Well, everybody tune in to the Libra Lounge with Keisha, and please follow Keisha also on Instagram at the Libra Lounge with Keisha. A lot of underscores there, but if you just look it
Yeah.
up, you'll find it.
Yes.
And please follow me at Pink Shade Pod. And you know what I noticed yesterday is I'm almost at 2,000 followers on TikTok.
Look at you.
And I think that's a real low number for TikTok, but for me, it's exciting.
Look, it's better than zero. I don't even
That
have a TikTok for the Libra Lounge with Keisha.
Well, there you go.
So
Well, there you
look
go.
at you.
I'm gonna make a TikTok tonight.
You go, girl.
I am. All right, everybody. And while we were here and talking, I confirmed my interview with Olivia Plath. We had a little snafu last week, but that did not work out. It was a miscommunication. But I am going to be talking to Olivia Plath this week, which I'm super excited about. So everybody be on the lookout for
Nice.
that interview. And also, guys, on Thursday, I'm talking Bravo Breakdown, Shades of Bravo. I'm doing that with Brandy and Julie, and that will be on Thursday. So that's it, Keisha. Oh, and of course, before I say that's it, I can't forget, tomorrow is 90 Day Fiancé with Kimberly of A Date with Dateline. Okay.
Hey.
That's all your programming notes. All right. Talk to you later. I'll talk to
Bye.
you Wednesday, Keisha, about Family Chantel.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.